You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Only 500 people were supposed to be at the Fountain of Praise today for the funeral of George Floyd, but more than 2,000 folks actually crammed into the sanctuary there. So many people who were in attendance there. Well, you had civil rights leaders, political leaders, celebrities as well. Folks who went to high school with him at Jack Yates High School in Houston, people who grew up with George Floyd in the CUNY Homes Housing Project as well. Here is a compilation of today's homegoing service.
Anybody know anything about him? You are the strength of my life. Oh, yes, you are, Jesus.
Hello, everyone, on this day of prayer, where we try to understand God's plan in our pain. To George's family and friends, Jill and I know the deep hole in your hearts when you bury a piece of your soul deep in this earth. As I've said to you privately, we know you will never feel the same again. For most people, the numbness you feel now will slowly turn day after day, season after season into purpose through the memory of the one they lost. But for you, that day has come before you can fully grieve. And unlike most, you must grieve in public. It's a burden. A burden that is now your purpose to change the world for the better. In the name of George Floyd. Like so many others, I've watched with awe as you summon the absolute courage to channel God's grace and show the good man George was. To stir justice too long dormant, to move millions to act peacefully and purposefully. But among all the people around the world who feel connected to this tragedy are the ones who lost something that can never ever be replaced. To George's children and grandchild, I know you miss your dad and your granddad. Little Gianna, as I said to you when I saw you yesterday, you're so brave. Daddy's looking down, he's so proud of you. I know you missed that bear hug that only he could give. The pure joy riding on his shoulders so you could touch the sky. The countless hours he spent playing any game you wanted because your smile, your laugh, your love is the only thing that mattered at the moment. I know you have a lot of questions, honey. No child should have to ask questions that too many black children have had to ask for generations. Why? Why is Daddy gone? And looking through your eyes, we should also be asking ourselves why the answer is so often too cruel and painful. Why in this nation do too many black Americans wake up knowing that they could lose their life in the course of just living their life? Why does justice not roll like a river nor righteousness like a mighty stream? Why? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we can't turn away. We must not turn away. We cannot leave this moment thinking we can once again turn away from racism that stings at our very soul, from systemic abuse that still plagues American life. As Thurgood Marshall once implored, quote, America must dissent from indifference. It must dissent from fear, the hatred, and the mistrust. We must dissent because America can do better, because America has no choice but to do better. I grew up with Catholic social doctrine, which taught me that faith without works is dead, and you'll know us by what we do. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to deal with the denial and the promise of this nation to so many people for so long. It's about who we are, what we believe, and maybe most importantly, who we want to be. To ensure that all men and women are not only created equal, but are treated equally. We can heal this nation's wounds and remember its pain, not callous the heart and forget. I know Reverend Sharpton is there in Houston with you today. Rev, I watched you speak from Ecclesiastes last week in Minnesota, chapter 3, verse 1. Everything there is a time and a purpose and a season under the heavens. Well, today, now is the time, the purpose, the season to listen and heal. Now is the time for racial justice. That's the answer we must give to our children when they ask why. Because when there is justice for George Floyd, we will truly be on our way to racial justice in America. And then, as you said, Gianna, your daddy will have changed the world. May God be with you, George Floyd, and your family. In the words of a hymn from my church based on the 91st Psalm, may he raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, and make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of his hand. God bless you all. God bless you all.
I'm not here today as a Democrat. We're not here as Republicans. We're not here because we're rich or poor. We're not here because we're conservative or liberal. We are here because Pastor Remus Wright was so right when he said, we have no expendables in our community. George Floyd was not expendable. This is why we're here. His crime was that he was born black. That was his only crime. George Floyd deserved the dignity and the respect that we accord all people simply because they are children of a common God. And it's very unfortunate that we have to be here, but we're going to celebrate the life of George Floyd today. And to the family, it's important that I say this to you. We who are here today are here to say we stand with you. We will be there for you. Let's let them know they are not alone. Let's give them some love. Let's say to this family, we are here to stay. Say it for the family, please, with some love. Give them some love, please, the family.
And I guess he wanted us to know, family, about CUNY Homes and Jack Yates. Somebody might have said, what good comes out of Nazareth? And somebody else might have said, what good comes out of Third Ward? I am so grateful today to be able to say a man by the name of Big Floyd walked amongst us down those CUNY Home blocks, went on up to that crimson and red, and began to mentor and make a legacy that no one can deny. I want you to know, my friends, that as these members of Congress, give me a moment, Chairwoman Karen Bass, the Congressional Black Caucus, leadership Barbara Lee, Congressman Hank Johnson, Congresswoman Lizzie Fletcher, Congressman Vicente Gonzalez, Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia, Congresswoman Deb Haaland from New Mexico. They're across the nation. They are here because they are honoring a brother that came out of the heart of Third Ward and Jack Yates. They are here to honor that leadership. So as I conclude, George Floyd was here on an assignment. It is painful to be able to accept that. I'm so sorry I know him in death. But he was here on an assignment. Some folk on assignments only get to stay 30 years. When the wicked men thought they had done something. George Floyd took it 46 years. He walked this journey. He left behind sisters and brothers who could stand up against the adversity of life when the camera came and people asked to PJ and others, what do you want? We want justice. We want justice.
Let me just say to you that people all over the world and elected officials on all levels are doing things that they otherwise might not have done, had not done, because of George. You know, I announced that in this city I would be creating this task force on policing reform. But at the same time, that we'll work things through and we'll get that done within a 90-day period. But as I speak right now, the city attorney is drafting an executive order, an order that I will sign when I get back to City Hall. And what that order will say is that in this city, we will ban chokeholds and strangleholds. In this city, we will require de-escalation. In this city, you have to give a warning before you shoot. In this city, you have a duty to intervene. In this city, we will require comprehensive reporting. In this city, you must exhaust all alternatives before shooting. And there will be other things in this executive order.
How do I say goodbye to what we had?
Sorry.
The good times that made us laugh outweighed the bad. I thought we get to see forever, but forever's gone away. It's so hard to say goodbye. To yesterday. I don't know where this road is going to lead. All I know is where we've been and what we've been through. If we get to see tomorrow, I hope it's worth all the pain. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. And I'll take with me the memories to be my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. God bless.
His family, who hopefully has been comforted by the many people who have come today and who have given to us a portrait of the man we only knew through the news, but who we now know not only as a human being, but as a great human being. We're glad to have known George Floyd.
All of us and our lives begin with obscurity. We don't know how it would end in history. No one thought on that January morning of the 15th day of 1929 that boy would grow up to be the liberator to a movement called the Civil Rights. No one knew. In August in 1961, on the fourth day, in Hawaii of all places, in obscurity, that the first African American president would be born. And nobody knew. On October the 14th, 1973, in obscurity, Fayetteville, North Carolina, parents boldly and courageously migrating to Houston had no idea. In Third Ward, CUNY Homes, Jack Yates, that God had birthed someone that now belongs in a rightful place of history. We all begin in obscurity. We don't know where we'll land in history. The question of theology and theodicy is, where was God in all of this? God was and is where God has always been. God didn't cause it, but God can certainly use it. Unfortunately, we've almost turned it into cliche, but it's Christian bedrock belief that all things work together for the good of them who love the Lord and who are called according to his purpose. And so to this family today, God is working his way, and he has been where he always will be. I leave you now with these words: trials dark on every hand. And we cannot understand all the ways that God will lead us to that blessed promised land, but he'll guide us with his eye. If we'll follow him till we die, and then we'll understand it better by and by.
All this family wants is justice. Oh, it's nice to see some people change their mind. The head of the NFL said, yeah, maybe we was wrong. Football players, maybe they did have the right to peacefully protest. Well, don't apologize. Give Colin Kaepernick a job back. Don't come with some empty apology. Take a man's livelihood, strip a man down of his talents, and 4 years later, when the whole world is marching, all of a sudden you go and do a FaceTime talking about you sorry. Minimizing the value of our lives. You sorry, then repay the damage you did to the career you stood down, because when Colin took a knee, he took it for the families in this building, and we don't want an apology. We want him repaired.
All right, folks. So a horse-drawn carriage took Floyd's body to a funeral home there in Pearland, Texas, not far at all from where the church is located. Of course, he was also laid to rest next to his mother, Lacinia Floyd. All right, folks, back to our Roland Unfiltered video in just one moment. Ceek, of course, you know, black-owned company. Mary Spiel owns it. They have these wonderful headphones, 360-degree 4D headphones that are fantastic, unbelievable sound. We have a partnership with them, folks, where if you get these headsets, you can actually use your promo code to get a discount. And so what you should do is use RMVIP 2020, RMVIP 2020 for these particular headphones. They're absolutely fabulous. Sounds great. And again, when you buy these, you are supporting a black-owned company. Go to Ceek.com, CEEK.com. That's CEEK.com. Trust me, you will certainly enjoy what they sound like.